Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to discuss something that, well, maybe a lot of you don't want to hear, don't want to talk about, don't want to know about. But there are some of you out there who probably do, and I appreciate those of you who watch the video. But we're going to talk about vision. So I'll be right back with you. So welcome back again everybody to the channel, and before we get started, I'd appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up, like and share with your friends and enemies, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. So today's topic, we're going to talk about vision, okay? And it's something that I've been teaching this part of other things that I was a member of the Boy Scouts of America, and I attended a course called Wood Badge, and then I was a staff member and an instructor for Wood Badge. And this is some of the stuff that we taught, besides communication, leadership, this kind of stuff. Well, one of these things is that inside Wood Badge, we have to develop a vision, okay? And it's reference to our Boy Scout troop, our Cub Pack, or our crew, okay? And what we had to do is we had to develop this vision, okay? With it, we had 5 goals. The first one was diversity, okay? So we had no choice on that one. So we had to develop something that was diverse, okay? But the other 4 goals that we had to develop, okay? They all came to the for the overall vision, whether it be helping your troop to grow. Maybe it was something like helping yourself to grow, achieving a certain level in scouting. Depends, okay? Well, I've always used that in business also, and with work and this kind of stuff. So, and we do it every day. We have a vision. We have something that gives us direction and a glimpse over our life to make our goals and purpose become a reality, okay? This is what a vision does, okay? And in order to understand where and what ourselves to be in life, we must have a clear vision over our life. So once you understand that vision clarifies purpose, life will become simpler and more meaningful, okay? Now, I'm bringing all this up because there was a question from a video that I had done 2 years ago. And friend on the channel asked the question, what is vision, okay? And so made me go back into my mind and to think about what vision was. So anyway, we're going to discuss that today, and we're going to discuss some things to help you to find your vision. So be right back with you. So we're going to go over some points here to help you to develop your vision, to find your vision. And one of them is to work to resolve old wounds, okay? You cannot embrace a new vision. You cannot embrace a future if you're still living in the past. So you need to go out there and you need to think about your past, first of all, so that you can remedy a lot of the problems. It may be a failed marriage, it may be an accident, it may be problem. You need to give forgiveness to somebody. I'll give you a quick thing. I had a big vision with my life and my family many years ago when I was still married. But when that marriage fell apart, I lost my vision. I lost it. And I still haven't completely and 100% gotten my vision back. I have things that I want to do and want to accomplish that are goals within, I guess, an overall vision of happiness. But the first thing you have to do is you have to forgive people. And that's the first thing I did, is I forgave my ex-wife, and I moved forward. No animosity, no anger towards her. So you have to, first you need to work on resolving old wounds. So that's the first part of what you need to do, trying to get back your vision. So another thing that we have to think about is understand it's not about you, okay? Sometimes we get hung up on the whole concept that life centers around us, but it doesn't. There are other things out there. So find something else out there that you can gather wisdom from, and you can give wisdom to. Explore your passions and your talents. Scottish Olympic runner Eric Liddell famously said, "God made me fast, and when I run, I feel His pleasure." So we all have God-given talents. We all have passions. Okay, go out there and find out what your passion is, what your talent is, and use that to help give you your vision. Okay, it's a gift that you've been given, and you can give back to the world in some facet, some way or another. Spend time with people that you admire. Okay, seek out people whose lives you admire. Okay, ask them how they got to where they are, and why do they do what they do. Perhaps even see if they would be willing to meet regularly. Okay, I've had a couple of mentors in my life. Okay, and I've been lucky enough to mentor some boys myself, and even some girls. And it's really a good way to find. And it's not necessarily a subject maybe that you're interested in, but you can see their passion and see how they developed it, and it's a very important thing to do. I mean, find somebody. It's also good for your mind. It's good for your heart and soul, and you never know if that person has had a full life. It's probably good for them too. Vision what you want your life to look like. What kind of man you want to be. What kind of family you want to have, what kind of job you want to have, what kind of education. Picture it in vivid detail, and that'll help you develop your vision. Don't limit yourself. Sometimes we allow things to keep us from. It makes you fail before you even get started. Okay, so don't limit yourself. I remember. In the Army, first of all, joining the Army is something I always did. I don't want to do since I was a little boy, and I did it. At 17, I joined and spent 10 years doing it, and I enjoyed every minute of it. But people asked me, was it hard? And I said no, because I enjoyed it. I loved I guess I love what we call the suck, the pain of it all. I also enjoyed the idea that it takes hard work to make it, So, but don't allow these things to interfere, whether it be your size to be a basketball player or a football player, or your color, your race, or your sexuality, or even your sex. Okay? Don't allow these things. If you need to educate yourself more, educate yourself. Okay? If you have a hard time reading, okay, work on reading, work on your education, work on yourself, improve yourself. Don't allow these things to keep you from what you want to do and from what you want to be. So don't limit yourself. Next thing is get feedback and buy-in from trusted sources. Okay, ask people closest to you if your vision is on point, particularly your family, good friends, your loved one. Make changes based on their feedback, and make sure you get the buy-in. Write a mission statement and a list of action steps that you need to take. It's like what I said before. Your mission statement can be your vision, and then the action steps can be the goals it takes to get there. Okay, put that somewhere. Write it in big bold letters. Put that somewhere like on your refrigerator, or before you go leave the house every morning. Or have it in your office if that's where you're at. But you have that mission statement, and you have some of the goals it's going to take there. Now your goals may change. They may develop, okay, to get there, and you'll find out as you go along. It takes experience also. A good example, when I was in the Army, I wanted to, if I wanted to go to a specific kind of school, I had to make sure that my PT or physical training was really up to par. But I was really physically fit, but more than just physically fit, really on a higher level than you can imagine. That I could run and this kind of stuff. So I had to do things to improve on that also at all times. education wise, I had to constantly educate myself on, well, the tasks that I needed to have to be able to accomplish my job, but also to reach my vision. Okay, these little goals I had to have. All right, and it's just not just that; it's also a number of other things. So take your mission statement, write it out, put it on your phone, put it somewhere where you can see it every day, and 2 or 3, maybe 4 goals or tasks that you need to do to get there. Okay, if you want to run a marathon in a year, you got to do what? You got to run, okay? But you also got to work on your diet. Your nutrition is very important. Your state of mind, because in the end, your physical part's going to get you to a certain distance, but it's going to be your mind that's going to help you finish. So get yourself involved. Another one is find accountability, okay? What does this mean? That means that, well, you get people involved who are going to be there helping you to stay accountable and stay on your task, on your goal, stay on topic, I would say. For example, if you do want to run a marathon in a year, well, you don't always want to get up early in the morning if that's the only time you have to go run, or when you get off work, or even at lunchtime, but you're going to have to, okay? And it's good to have maybe a partner, someone's doing it with you, or someone who's going to encourage you. And you need positive encouragement. Honesty, though, also is very important. So you got to find someone in your life. And it's one thing to motivate yourself. I don't know if you've ever heard of David Goggins. And David Goggins is basically a psychopath. He's really incredible in reference to fitness levels. This guy has a world record for pull-ups. And I admire him for what he's accomplished and what he's done. And I think he's a great individual because of what he's done. And he can help a lot of people. But David Goggins, his biggest enemy is himself, and he fights himself on a daily basis, and he talks about it. And it's really interesting when you hear him talking to himself. Anyway, find accountability. And the last thing is to be flexible. Your vision and your goals to achieve your vision may change, so you got to be aware of that. Okay, things come up. And the more flexible you are, this also in reference to, like I said, it's very psychological also. But there are things that happen in life, and you got to be ready for it. And you got to be flexible, and you got to be open, and you got to be willing to make these changes. And there you go. It's part of it. To finish off this little discussion about vision, it's like when you start a business or something, or you want to become something in this world, Let's say you go to university, you want to become a doctor or a lawyer, or you want to become a businessman. Well, you got to take certain courses, okay? And those are your little goals. And your vision is to become a lawyer or a doctor, whatever it says, But your vision is the overall picture. Okay, and this is going to change because guess what? Things happen in life that causes changes, You get into school and you say, you know what? I'm actually liking this subject a little better. I find more interest in it. It happened to me when I was studying at university, studied history, and I really enjoy to study mostly military history, but the archaeology, the all of the things with it, what did a soldier wear? What did he do? What did he eat? These things really interest me a lot. And, and it interests me even today. Okay, that's why I have a big love of camping and the outdoors and the gear we use or the gear we don't really need to use. Okay? But try to simplify it a little bit and make it as simple as possible. Your vision should not be, well, it may be something really extraordinary, And God bless you if you make it. I really hope you do. And you work your goals to get there. And it may be a couple of goals, or it may be hundreds of goals that you have to achieve to get there. But just go back on what I just said for these 10 little items that I threw out at you about finding vision. I think the biggest thing is, do something that's going to make you happy. because a lot of people do things that don't make them happy whatsoever. And that goes back to being flexible, because you may get to the end and say, you know what, this is not really what I want in my life. So you go back to day one, or you go back down the list and you say, well, you know what, I've done all these things right here, and actually I found on the path something that does make me happy. Okay. It happens to us in life also. You know, we have a vision. I did when I was in the military. I wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to do certain things, and along the way I met a woman, and that sort of threw me off. It really did, in a negative way. But at the same time, I learned a lot about myself. I have 2 wonderful children. I miss being a soldier. I miss that life I had. And heck, I would have done that for the rest of my life if I could have. And I should have. That's a whole lot of ifs. A whole lot of shoulda, wouldas. But here we are. Find your vision and adapt it to you. Okay? And work hard, and you'll get there. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm sure it may not be anything very interesting for a lot of you, but if one of you like it, if one of you got something from it, including myself, then that's already something. So don't give up, and don't count yourself out before you've even made your first step. You can get there. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.